Um, Hope everybody has had a peaceful couple of days and that you've been getting started on your packet. I'm going to start with a little bit of review, and then the rest of this flip chart you can find in your packet that you picked up. Grab that as you want to follow along with this, and then you can write on it, make notes, whatever. Feel free to pause me as I'm going through this, or stop it and go back to it, replay it, whatever it is you need to do. So that way that you can get this pretty easy. So we're going to start off with reviewing from ordering decimals from least to greatest. This was on your quiz last Friday, and a lot of you guys at least missed one. So I wanted to go back through this and give you a chance to hear me teach it one more time, and then we're going to move on to our new concept here. Okay, so remember when you order decimals from least to greatest, and please follow my mouse here. Here it is, right? Follow it. That's going to be like me pointing to things instead of anything else. So when we order decimals from least to greatest, the first thing that we need to do, as always, is in your study book, is make sure the decimal points are lined up. And you can see that here, that they're lined up nice and neatly. Now, the problem is that they don't all have the same amount of digits. So remember, for a decimal, all of the numbers to the left of the decimal point, this way, get bigger. All of the numbers to the right get smaller. Remember, these are whole numbers to the left. To the right are decimals, which means they are a fraction. They are a part of a whole. Now, what can we do because we realize they don't have the same amount of digits? You might remember that you can fill in the zeros. So notice, my highest number has three places. So I can make every number that I have 3 places. Now this 5 right here doesn't have a decimal point at all, which means that the decimal point isn't needed. But you can add it, you can put it right next to it, and then add your 3 zeros. Okay, now when we're actually ordering these, we're gonna need to order from least to greatest, like it says, but I'm gonna start with the highest place value, which for this problem is the ones place. And I look through and I see 5, 6, 5, 6. So I know that I'm going to need to start with these two 5s because they're the lowest. 5 is less than 6. Then I can move over one place to the right, I can look at the 6 and I can look at the 0 and what is smaller, 0 or 6. And yes, you guys are right. It is, that is too small. It does need to be the 5. The 5 is actually the lowest place. And remember, I taught you, you can mark it out after you've used it. Okay, so then what's next? My other 5, right? I just automatically know because 5 is less than 6 that 5.6, 5 and 6/10 is, I wrote that in wrong, is going to be used next. Okay, now mark it off because I'm done with the 5s. Now let's look at the 6s. I always look to the decimal place to the right. The next one is 6.1 and 6.7. 6.1, 6.7, 1 is smaller than 7, so 6.1 is going to be up next. Okay, 6.13, comma, 6.723, right? Now, this one is going to be a little bit more challenging, but not majorly. Look at it again. Again, we're going least to greatest. 0, 1, 0, 0. Automatically, I'm going, all right, well, obviously 1 is the biggest one. So maybe you say, you know what, I'm going to do it backwards this time. And I'm going to say 1.1 is the biggest. So I want that one to be last, right? Because that one is the biggest. Now look at your other ones. You've got 0, 0, 0. So I have to look to the next place value, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, and then the 1. I'll move over one more place, 0, 1. Which one's smaller? This 0. So this is going to be, come on, come back. My smallest place value is the 0.001 1,000th. Mark it out. What's next? The 0.01. Oh, come on. There we go. Maybe. I'm sorry, friends. I know this is boring. 0.01, 0, and then my middle one, only one I didn't use is 1/10. So 1,000th, 100th, 1/10, 1 and 1/10. Okay, so if you are still struggling with that least to greatest and you would like some extra help, all you have to do is send me a dojo message. I can send you some extra worksheets or whatever it is, some new problems that you might want to work on. Okay, today we're talking about rounding decimals, right? This is going to be the first page in your packet that you see for math. And I basically just printed these so that as I'm going through this, you can look at, you can mess with, and that way you will have some way to take some notes. Look at the number line below. The integers are yellow. Integers, this I word you see right here, that is a fancy word for whole number. A whole number, meaning it doesn't have a decimal part. It is either 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but not anything in the middle, right? So what we're looking at today is just like we were to round money, like if I had $9.99, it would round up to 10. We're talking about rounding decimals to the nearest whole number, all right? Remember, a whole number doesn't have a decimal value. So think about this. Which numbers are closer to 1 and which numbers are closer to 2? So look at your thing here. Obviously, 1.1 is closer to 1 than 2. 1.2 all the way to 4. Those are all going to round down. Now, 5 through 9 is going to round up because they are closer to 2. So remember, I'm going to say that one more time. 1 to 4 is going to round down. 5 to 9 is going to round up. Now notice, if it is 1.6, I'm having to change that whole number from a 1 to the next number, which is a 2. Right? Now, look here. Let's do some practice problems. Place the numbers beneath the integer that they are closest to. All right, these might be messed up from your page, but that's all right. Let's look at 6.6, all right? 6 and 6/10. I always look at the whole number, which is a 6, but then I need to look at the number to the right, which is a 6. 6 rounds which way? Let's go back to the slide here. Which way did I say 6 rounded? Up. 6 is going to round up. So that means I'm going to need to change my number. Not to 6 and 6/10, but it's going to round up to 7. Here I have a 4. 6 and 4/10. 4 rounds down. So that means my number can stay the same and stay as 6. 6.7, 7 rounds up. So 6 and 7/10 is closer to 7. 7 and 7/10, 7 rounds up. So it's going to be closer to 8. 8.2 rounds down. So that means it's going to be closer to 8. 7.9, 9 rounds up. So I have to change it to an 8. 7.3 rounds down, closer to 7. 5.8 is going to be closer, round up to 6. Now, if a number is halfway between the integers, we round it up. So 5.5 is halfway. It's right in the middle of these. Count 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's that one number in the middle, but 5 is always going to round up. So 5.5 is going to be closer to 6. Okay. So again, look at the number line below. 4.5 is exactly halfway between 4 and 5 on the line. All the numbers on this part of the number line are closer to 4 than they are 5. All the numbers on this part are closer to 5 than they are 4. So 4.25, well, that's going to go here, right? 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, 4.4. This place is 4.5. So this is going to be right in the middle. What's it closer to? 4. 4.79, 4.6, 4.7, 4.8. 4.79 is real close to 4.8, right? And so we're going to round that one up to 5. 4.1 would go here and round down to 4. 4.81 would round up and go to 5. Okay, this slide, I believe, is in your package as well. Fill this out, take a picture of it, send it to me on Portfolio, send it to me on Class Story. I can check it for you, or you can get a parent to check it, either way. But remember, we're going to look at the number. We're going to round up or down based on the number to the right. So look at this number here, 4 rounds down. So this one would stay as a 6. All right, guys, get started on your pages. Keep working hard. I miss seeing you. Send me some questions if you got